We're back on the air across the World Wide Web, heard in 28 countries, and glad we are. Please find us again on Facebook and keep joining our entrepreneurial network and our YouTube channel as well. Our next guest, a big supporter of entrepreneurship, is Vincent DeVito of Bowditch and Dewey, the law firm. And he's going to talk to us today about early stage enterprises, the energy field, clean tech, and maybe even a little bit about politics. Welcome, Vincent.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Thanks. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your practice, and how it evolved?
Thank you. I have a corporate and regulatory practice. It focuses on early stage enterprises. I also work with investment funds, developers, both on the energy generation and on the utility side for large-scale renewable facilities. That's primarily the portfolio that I work on. The aspect that got me started, primarily in the energy space and in clean technology, was my appointment at the U.S. Department of Energy as Assistant Secretary for Policy and International Affairs. That portfolio was rather large and robust, but primarily included a lot of initiatives federally that were sent to state program offices in 2009. They were stood up in the Energy Policy Act of 2003 and the Energy Policy Act of 2005. And when folks asked me back in 2009, 2010, when the feds were rolling out the stimulus package on a state-by-state basis, what's new in that stimulus package? I said, nothing really. A lot of the ideas, initiatives, and policies that are being set forth right now came out in the Energy Policy Act of 2005, but what ended up happening is in 2009 with the Stimulus Act, those programs just got funded, and that's how a lot of the solar initiatives and programs and facilities got jump-started.
And you sort of followed suit.
Right. Well, that was a space where my particular brand of expertise was very helpful to folks. The 1603B program, which was essentially a refund, started a lot of entrepreneurs into the solar development space. And it wasn't just folks that happened to be electricians and decided to go out and become solar installations. It actually, the larger facilities were generated by second career business people that had early retired, maybe in their 50s, or retired at a time that they decided to, but saw this opportunity to start new businesses in the solar space. And those guys generally would form venture funds or private equity funds, and they would go out and hire a sales force and hire electricians to become solar installers. And most famous is Solar City, not a client of mine, but there are a lot of sisters of that, primarily here in Massachusetts, New York, and New Jersey, that I have helped start their businesses. But that is only one aspect of the clean tech portfolio. There are other entrepreneurs in this area. And now, since those particular programs have what they say sunsetted, they have ended, there are other avenues for people to participate in the technology market, primarily in the energy side.
Interesting. You're also involved with, you said, political work in your practice. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it's interesting. Politics is also entrepreneurial.
Very much so.
Right.
Private brand.
When I was at an event with Governor Baker a few weeks back, it was he who said, I think it was at the Mass Challenge event, that people don't view me as an entrepreneur because I was a healthcare executive, et cetera. He did work at an investment fund. He goes, but really, he goes, in 2008, I started a campaign, and campaigns are very much businesses, to be governor of the state. And that was something that was done with very little folks at hand, very little or no money, and it was just an idea that he had to grow organically. And he hit the nail on the head. I mean, entrepreneurship is all about that, and it's all about the fire in the belly.
Right. So you saying you handle people like the governor?
Yes. Yeah, Charlie Baker. His candidate committee was my client. Also, I have a national base of of political clients, office holders, primarily in Congress, but also political action committees for corporations and other folks that have participated in the electoral process at the municipal level.
Do you feel that there are any, of note for the radio, differences between working in the energy field and in clean tech?
There is absolutely no difference, because when I was working on a different political campaign, we were talking about clean tech and energy and renewables. Well, why do you have to talk about clean tech and renewables and energy? Why isn't the real answer technology? And clean tech is technology. So what we ended up deciding, what I tend to do in my practice now, is just call it a technology-based practice. So it even applies to those in biomeds, et cetera. So there's nothing that technology doesn't cover. It doesn't have to be energy. Solar is technology. So is, fracking is technology. I mean, that's all, comes from enhanced oil recovery. So technology and energy go hand in hand. The smart grid, there's a pilot in Worcester sponsored by National Grid. I mean, that's all based on metering technology and the communication over the internet. The Internet of Things, which people are talking about these days and focused on, they're more than talking about it, people are using it. Real-time monitoring of jet engines so you can predict catastrophic failure way ahead of time and do maintenance and save the investment in these aircrafts and the souls on board with the Internet of Things. I mean, that's all technology-based as well. Also saves energy.
Right.
When you use the Internet of Things and other technologies, what you end up doing is, by maintenance, is you reduce the use of fuels. Every industry is an energy-intensive industry. So to the extent that you can make them more effective, more efficient, you are reducing energy uses, which reduces, based on today's fuel supplies, emissions.
If somebody wants to get hold of you at Bowditch and Dewey, how would they find you?
If you go to Bowditch.com, all my information is right on that website. My phone number is 617-757-6500. And they could, of course, get me through emails, vdevito@bowditch.com.